Hi, I'm Steve Kruse, and this is Randy Kruse, and we are the Kruse Brothers.
Today you'll follow along with us as we are going to build a shed here in our shop.
There are many different reasons that you need a shed. You may have a kid that comes home from college, brings all their stuff, and now you have no room for your stuff in your garage. You're gonna need to build a shed.
Yeah, maybe you want to build a she shed or a man cave. There's many different reasons to do this.
Absolutely. So whatever those reasons are, you can go to the LP Outdoor Building Solutions website for the best style, design, and building plans that you'll ever need. One of the best reasons to use LP Building Solutions ProStruct flooring is this durable finish. This ProStruct flooring has a 10-year warranty. It is really something. It's really nice product. To go along with this is a couple of different wall sheathings that they offer. So a grooved panel, such as this groove panel, 8-inch on center. This warranty here is going to be a 550 warranty. And on the back side, it has the SmartFinish. This SmartFinish matches this the durability and the finish that you have on your floor, and it gives a professional grade appearance when you install this. If you live in a warmer climate, you may want to choose this product here. It looks very similar. It's a grooved panel, but on the back side, it has a product called SilverTech. SilverTech is a radiant barrier. It also does carry the 550 warranty. It's very clean. It lights up in the shed very well, or your outdoor building. When you put a light in it, it reflects, it looks great. It's also energy efficient. Along with this product, they also make a roof sheathing to go along with that. So the roof sheathing too has the radiant barrier on it as well. If you're looking for more options when it comes to LP SmartSide and the exterior of your outdoor building or shed, 8-inch lap siding, SmartSide, 550 warranty. This can be painted any color you want. And then also up there is a board and batten feature. So you may want to do a couple of different types of sidings on your shed or your building and make it your own. Hey Randy, the tools that we have here seem pretty basic.
Absolutely, they are. You know, most people are going to have the tools that we have here on the table in their garage and so on. But I think the most important thing that we have here on the table is going to be the safety glasses, the hearing protection, and our work gloves. Safety first in this project, so we're going to make sure we abide by that. But otherwise, the tools are pretty basic.
Yeah, we have a skill saw, we have a nail gun, a screw gun. You know, if you don't have these things, you can go to your rental center and rent all of these things. Pretty easy to do.
Absolutely. I don't know if a lot of people understand that you can go and rent an air compressor, a hose, or a nail gun right from your local rental center. So if you see us using something like that here and you don't own it, you can just go rent it and get your project done maybe a little quicker, a little bit more efficient. Hey, thanks guys. Take care. Have a good day. But that's really nice to be able to have our material delivered right here to the shop to get this build underway. Take a look at that list. Let's make sure that we've got everything.
Yeah, having a list like this makes it so convenient to be able to check it all out.
Absolutely. We want to take a quick second here to explain some general carpentry knowledge to the general audience. And that is that when we're laying out our floor joist and getting ready for the base of our building, we want to look at also that layout is going to actually carry over from the floor through the walls and up into the roof. So essentially, think of it as like ribs, where the floor joists line up with the wall studs and then line up with the roof. And you'll see that when it's done, but if you can imagine it now. I've taken the plans that we're gonna build of our building and downloaded them, printed them out, and gotten them ready for us to get started with the base. We know that our ProStruct flooring is 4 foot wide. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook our tape measure on the end of the outside rim joist. We're gonna pull our tape measure out to that 4 foot mark. At 48 inches here, we know that our common floor joist is going to be 1.5 inches. So I'll work my way back to half of that distance at 47 1/4. What happens here is I'm gonna share that floor joist with one sheet of our ProStruct flooring and then our second sheet of ProStruct flooring so that it lands right on that floor joist. I'll make these marks then at each of the 16-inch marks because we're going to lay out our floor and our walls and our roof at 16 inches on center. So again, working my way backwards, I'll do 31 1/4. I put a line with an X on the right side because that's halfway through. And then again at 15 1/4 with the X. I'll then transfer those marks onto my top and bottom plate for my wall. And I'm actually just laying everything out as we go so that my, again, floor joist line up with my walls. And then as I transfer those marks then up to my ridge, it's floor joist, walls to ridge, all 16 on center, all line up.
So the idea is to make your outside edge meet up with the outside board and then the same across the bottom, and that helps square the frame itself.
And then we'll kind of kick the platform into place, the base, if you will, yep. And then we'll be able to nail it off and go to town. We're gonna set our second sheet, but we also wanna make sure that we leave 1/8 of an inch in between each of the sheets for expansion.
Oh, fantastic.
Now we wanted to make sure we want to nail this per LP specifications for where we're nailing it on the perimeter.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's what you did earlier when you marked from board to board to board. So now when we go up the wall and through the roof, it'll all match.
And our stud will go right up here, and then our rafter will go up as well.
Yeah, and the idea there is so all the weight comes down and lands on the board below it.
Yeah. So what we did here is we laid out our studs. This is very, very similar to the way we did our floor. We want to make sure that we keep those floor joists to the studs to the roof all lining up. And there again, we know that our sheets of 8-inch on center grooved panel are going to be 4 feet. So I've got that shared stud where half of the sheet is going to land on the stud, and then the second sheet is going to share that stud. Now we're going to square up the wall. Take measure from this corner all the way clear over to this corner over here. I measure out at 165.5 inches. And now to double check that, he'll go to that end, and it should equal the same. If not, we'll make our adjustments. But there again, we got 165 9/16. Man, we're a 16th off, Steve. I don't know whether or not we can live with that, can we?
That's
Probably not. Let's try to get it within a 32nd, huh?
there we go.
So here we're bringing in our sheet of 8-inch on center grooved panel. This sheet is cut to length. That length is determined by the total length of the top and bottom plate on our wall studs, but keeping in mind that it's going to be a double top plate and 1 inch below the bottom plate. What this 1 inch overlap is going to do is it's going to, when we stand the wall, it's going to cover up this edge of the struck floors. We've also gone ahead and cut off this leading edge here. This is the edge that has the overlap. That'll also give us the proper layout from this edge to the middle of the 4 foot away stud to share that stud.
So if you notice that the back of this panel looks very similar to the floor, this is the SmartFinish, and it gives a really clean appearance when it's on the wall and it's all stood up from the inside.
So inside finished and exterior finished.
Absolutely.
That's so cool. So here we've laid out the end wall framing. The end wall framing is set so that our top and bottom plate is cut 7 inches shorter than the base of our building. That is because our 2 side walls are going to be stood up, and then this wall has to fit in between. We've also put a double stud in the middle. That is actually because it's going to carry load from the wall up into the gable later on and help hold our ridge pole across the top of the ridge. So this being the end wall that's going to have our door in it, we've laid it out so that our doors are framed in place. I like to do it this way because it helps keep that end wall nice and square. It again, just like the back wall we framed, is 7 inches shorter for the bottom plate, or for the bottom plate and the top plate. The door is framed in place. The bottom of the door is going to be that bottom plate. The center of the door, the way that it opens, is going to be here with this double stud. I've left a nice space in between, and so when we sawzall those open after the entire thing is built, then it's going to be able to just open right up. I've also put these braces on so that our hinges have somewhere to screw as well. So if you kind of picture this whole thing without the sheathing on it, then you can see that our hinges are going to hit that double stud area here and then go right over that brace that goes into the door. And we've got plenty of wood there to screw our hinges to, and they're a heavy, beefy hinge so that there's plenty of strength to keep these doors nice and level and plumb. The carpenter's pencil is a nice space to leave between the door and the double studs. This will leave enough room so that when we mount our hinges, the hinge and the studs, that they don't bind into one another, so you don't want to leave this area tight. So it'll help keep it nice and square, and you'll be more successful in having doors almost pre-hung, if you will, on this end wall. A little bit closer than that. So upon selecting the shed that we wanted to build here, the plans when we printed them out, it was an 8x12 shed. We determined the height of the walls and the roof for what our local building code would allow us to build. We liked the idea of a 12-12 pitch. That's what's in the plan, so we built it to plan. What's neat about the 12-12 pitch is that a standard framing square is a 45-degree angle, which is a 12-12. So on the right side here, I went ahead and put a 45-degree angle on there to match. That's going to be our peak. Once you've made a single rafter, you don't have to continuously go back to the page and then remeasure. You can easily make a jig, and that jig will have a couple of blocks on each side, and it'll have its bird's mouth in it and its fascia cut, and then you just slide it down over. We can easily make pencil marks where the bird's mouth is and the fascia and where the roof line comes down. It really makes it fast and easy to make this cut over and over and over. You'll see that it is laid out with these black lines that run right on the rafters. It's really well laid out, really nice to use. We're going to run that even with our LP fascia, and then we're also going to finish it off with a piece of metal here across the edge.
So for this piece of corner trim, what we have done is we've taken two pieces and we cut a 45 in one direction and then a bevel 45 on the other direction. We have nailed them together, so there is an outside corner here. We have painted our edges. We've used a high quality acrylic latex paint. And we'll go ahead and slide this into position. And then with a trim nailer, we're able to go ahead and be able to nail our corner off, and it looks great. So when we go to install the top piece of the trim above the window, we're going to need to make sure that we're using a piece of flashing. This flashing is specifically made for the grooved panel, and it has a longer back to it. It'll just pop over the top of it, and we can install it all as one. Another good thing to remember is when we're installing our trim or any of our saw cuts in any of our LP SmartSide, we're going to want to make sure that when we cut it, we're going to prime or paint that edge. So here is a perfect location where that is pointed out. We'll make sure that this is cut, painted here, that is painted there, and then these ends are painted as well.
We're about to set our door in place. We've got our braces here that we've left in place. These are going to be multifunctional. They're going to hold the door from falling in as we go to set it. And then we're also going to set it on 2/4 inch strips that we have here. This is going to raise it up just a little bit off the floor so it doesn't have any resistance when we go to close it. And so when we bring this into place, we're going to attach our hinges on the sides. And then after the hinges are installed, we're going to sawzall the plates apart and we'll be able to open the doors. Whew, well, all right. Well, it's been a fun couple of days, right? I mean, we got a couple of sheds built in the last few days. One with the SmartFinish on the inside and one with SilverTech on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely. The customers that we have, ask for different products that LP Outdoor Solutions provides. When you're using the SilverTech in a warmer climate, that's certainly something you like to use there. Plus, it really lights up the inside when you put a light on it.
Really looks nice. But now we got some decisions to make, right? What color are we gonna paint it? What are we gonna do with the roofing? Are we gonna use asphalt or metal, right?
You really want to use a paint that's going to last, and it's up to you what color you want to go with, all one color or trim being one color and the body of the building being a different color.
Absolutely. So the quality of the products with LP Building Solutions, all the way to the paint and our shingles and so on, really is going to come together to be a nice building for a long-lasting exterior.
Whatever you're looking for, that is up to you. It's very customizable. And long-lasting at the same time.
Absolutely. So enjoy your shed, enjoy the build, and if you really want to customize it and put a light sign in the window so your neighbors know that your man cave is open, you might want to just do that as well.
Absolutely.